This question tells us that 30 and 48 hundredths kilograms of beef was placed into 24 packages of equal weight. What is the weight of one package of beef? Equal is a big clue that we are dividing. So when we're dividing, I have to ask myself silly questions. I have beef, a large amount of beef, and then I have it going in, I have packages, so smaller amounts. So do I take a big amount and put the big amount into smaller amounts, or do I split up a smaller amount and put the smaller amount into a big amount? This doesn't even make sense. So I'm splitting up the bigger amount, 30 and 48 hundredths, into the smaller amount, so into 24 smaller amounts. Replace the arrow with a division sign, in and out. So here we go. 3, 0, decimal, 4, 8, and 24 is out. Whenever I'm dividing with decimals, I have to make sure that I have a whole number outside the box, and I do, so I don't have to move the decimal to the right. I just take this one straight upstairs. And then I divide, as always. 24 does not go into 3, so 0 on the top and the bottom. Subtract and slide. 24 goes into 30 one time, and 1 times 24 is 24. I subtract, and I have to do some borrowing here, and that gives me 6. Slide the 6. 24 goes into 64. Well, let me think. 24 is almost 25. So 25, 50, 75. 75 would be too big. So let's see what 24 times 2 is. And I get 8 and 4. So 2 on the top, 48 on the bottom. I need to borrow. So I get 16. 16 is smaller than 24, so I know that my 2 is good. If this was bigger than 24, I would need to make that a bigger number. Now I slide 168. So now let's use my estimation again. I know that if I have 4 quarters, because 24 is almost 25, that I have 100. And so 100 and 2 more would be 100, and plus 2 more would be 150. So that's 4 quarters, and this is 2 quarters. So I'm going to start with my estimation of 24 times 6. That's 24, 12 and 2. It's 124. I think I can go a little bit bigger. So, I forgot to add my 2 in. Let me fix that. Now, let's try one more. What if I say 144 plus one more 24? Let's see what I get. 8, 6, and 1. So 6 24s plus one more 24 gives me 7 24s, and that's 168. I subtract and I get 0. So my answer here is 1 and 27 hundredths. Your question is, Jacob has a board that is 94 and 25 hundredths inches long. How many pieces can he cut that are 6 and 5/10 inches long? All right, you'll have to go to the second dividing decimals video to see how to work this one out after you finished it on your paper.